Imagine yourself driving steadily through the night. You are alone, wrapped by the dark, on Malaysia's Perak Highway back in 1980. Fog drapes itself softly around the quiet road, swallowing faint streetlights one by one. Ahead, something emerges slowly. From the shadows, a faded glint, a tired yellow. A Volkswagen Beetle, worn out by years, crawling quietly ahead of you. You pass it carefully, holding your breath, the engine humming beneath you. For a brief moment, you feel relief. The highway yours again, the darkness empty. And from that endless void, once more, appears a familiar silhouette. Bright yet faded, another tired, yellow Volkswagen Beetle, exactly like before. Anxiety builds within you, intertwined with deep confusion. This time, you hesitate, choosing not to pass, your mind racing to comprehend what's unfolding. Your pulse quickens as you edge closer to this mysterious car. Curiosity turns to dread when you glimpse the driver's seat. There's no driver inside. And then you realize you're experiencing firsthand one of the world's most bizarre urban legends. And that night, you are part of the story.
Sepanjang jalan kenangan, kita selalu bergandeng tangan. Sepanjang jalan.
What you just heard is a Malaysian urban legend, the mystery of the yellow Volkswagen of Perak Highway. Stretching 60 kilometers from Malaysia's capital Kuala Lumpur to Perak, this highway has a long history of tragic accidents, earning it a reputation as one of the most haunted highways in the world. Amidst this eerie backdrop, the legend of the yellow Volkswagen stands out prominently in local folklore. The basic premise of this chilling urban legend is unsettlingly consistent. As you drive along the dark and quiet highway, you might suddenly notice a dim, faded yellow Volkswagen Beetle crawling at a sluggish pace ahead. At first, you might think it's just another late-night traveler taking their time. Naturally, you'll accelerate slightly, overtaking the slow-moving vehicle to continue your journey. But something isn't right. A few moments later, the same yellow Beetle mysteriously reappears, driving slowly again, blocking your path. No matter how often you pass it, the VW will always reappear further down the road, moving just as slowly, creating a terrifying loop from which you can't escape. According to locals, the Beetle has no driver, a ghostly, driverless car forcing you into an endless cycle of overtaking, reappearing, and overtaking again. Unless, that is, you heed one crucial warning: never pass the yellow Volkswagen. Instead, you must patiently follow it. After a while, witnesses claim the Volkswagen abruptly speeds up and disappears into the darkness, releasing you from its eerie hold. Ignoring this advice, legend warns, invites tragedy. Different versions describe varying consequences. Some say that after overtaking the Beetle, you'll experience mechanical breakdowns. Others speak of a young boy who mysteriously appears in the middle of the road, causing drivers to swerve and crash. In more sinister accounts, the Beetle itself accelerates aggressively, slamming into your vehicle from behind, forcing you off the road. Because the legend is widely known locally, many individuals have shared their own eerie encounters. Some even post their chilling experiences online. What I'm about to tell you isn't just a story. It's something my family and I personally experienced on the infamous Perak Highway. It started quietly enough, but then suddenly, there it was. A faded, yellow Volkswagen Beetle crawling slowly in front of our car. I'd read stories about this eerie beetle before. So the moment my father prepared to overtake it, my heart skipped a beat. Without thinking, I blurted out sharply, "Dad, don't pass that car. Whatever you do, don't pass it." He glanced at me, puzzled, and asked, "Why shouldn't I overtake?" I urged him desperately, "Just look carefully in the side mirror." Reluctantly, he did. We both stared into that mirror, eyes wide with disbelief. There, reflected clearly in the side mirror, was an empty driver's seat. No driver behind the wheel. Not a single soul was driving that yellow Beetle. With an uneasy silence, my father decided not to overtake. Instead, we trailed behind that mysterious, driverless car. Our entire family, 5 of us in total, frozen in anxious anticipation. Slowly, cautiously, we followed until we finally left the highway, escaping unharmed. Later, I explained to my family the chilling legend we'd narrowly avoided. A legend that many locals claim isn't a myth, but a terrifying truth lurking on the dark stretches of Karak Highway. There are many stories like this, shared by people who have experienced the mysterious yellow Volkswagen legend firsthand, especially locals. However, they're not the only ones who've encountered this paranormal phenomenon. International tourists have reported it as well. These accounts add to the growing list of witnesses, enhancing the credibility and intrigue surrounding this eerie urban legend. Let me share something unsettling that happened to me a few years ago. Around 3 to 5 years back, my girlfriend and I were traveling through Malaysia on a tourist bus. We found ourselves on a highway, quietly winding through the darkness. At some point, I drifted off into a half-sleep, lulled by the steady hum of the engine. Everything was calm until suddenly I was jolted awake. My girlfriend was shaking me, her eyes wide with terror, urgently pointing out the window. She kept repeating in panic, "There's no driver! There's no driver!" I squinted into the darkness, trying to see what she saw, but there was nothing. No car, no headlights, nothing. I dismissed it quickly, thinking she had just made a mistake, probably confused by the car's steering wheel being on the opposite side. A harmless misunderstanding, right? But that wasn't the end. A week or 2 later, we traveled to an island near Kota Kinabalu. From the moment we arrived, something felt off. Heavy and unsettling, sending chills down my spine. It was an eerie sensation, one I couldn't shake. Only later did we learn that the island was rumored to be haunted. Intrigued by these strange events, I decided to search online for other haunted places in Malaysia. To my surprise, I stumbled upon a disturbing story. The urban legend of the yellow Volkswagen haunting the very same highway we'd traveled. My heart dropped. With a creeping sense of dread, I asked my girlfriend again about the car she'd seen. Could it really match the infamous phantom vehicle? She couldn't recall the model, so I urged her to draw it. Without hesitation, she sketched it quickly, and my heart nearly stopped. She had drawn a faded yellow Volkswagen Beetle, exactly as described in the eerie legend I'd just read. Speechless, I handed her my phone, showing her the haunting tale. She read carefully, eyes widening in horror as she realized what she had seen was exactly what countless others had encountered. When she looked up at me, her face pale and shaken, I knew without a doubt she wasn't lying or mistaken. That night, she had truly witnessed the ghostly yellow Volkswagen of Karak Highway, and we had narrowly avoided becoming part of its terrifying legend. Given the sheer number of witnesses, this urban legend is too compelling to be dismissed as mere folklore. And yet, no legitimate documentation has ever been found. It's worth noting that this legend has endured for decades in Malaysia. even predating the construction of the Karak Highway in 1974. And to this day, people still report sightings of the mysterious yellow Volkswagen. But if you try to look for evidence or official records, you'll find nothing more than screenshots from movies or media, most of them taken completely out of context. All these years, all these people, yet not a single person has managed to capture any real evidence. No dashcam footage, no highway CCTV recordings, nothing. Still, that's not even the strangest part. As you might have already noticed, something feels off about the focus of this urban legend. It centers around a single, oddly specific object, one that doesn't fit the typical horror archetype. It's not an ambulance. It's not a hearse. Either of those would make more sense in a ghost story, but that's not the case here. Why does it have to be a very specific car? A yellow Volkswagen Beetle? Could this urban legend have originated from a real incident involving such a vehicle? As it turns out, it did. And it all began with a strange phone call.
Baru saja anda dengar lagu Jalan Kenangan nyanyian.
It was a quiet night on February 27th, 1990, when Faris, not his real name, was doing his job as the host of a late-night radio program. He started the show as usual, greeting the listeners, playing their favorite songs, and inviting them to join a light-hearted discussion or simply share whatever was on their minds through a phone call. Everything went smoothly. That night felt just like any other night, until one phone call changed everything.
Mari kita angkat panggilan pertama malam ini. Hello, siapa di talian? Hello?
Hello?
It was a male voice, cracked, distressed. Faris greeted him, but the caller responded with sobs. Instinctively, Faris asked what was wrong. Then, the man on the other end began to describe a horrifying accident he had just experienced. I was driving my car. My family was inside. Then, a bus came speeding toward us. It seemed out of control and crashed into a military truck. A fuel tanker behind us tried to swerve to avoid the bus. But instead, it skidded and crashed into us and several other cars. Faris, help us. Faris was stunned. His listeners usually called in to share light-hearted stories, sometimes even humorous events. But this was different. Realizing the caller might be in grave danger, Faris pressed for more details, asking if he and his family were okay. The man replied, "My wife and kids, they're unresponsive, and I see something strange." Thinking this might be a clue that could help, Faris asked what he meant. But the reply defied all logic. "I see my family, dead in the car. I see my own body in the car, unresponsive. Help me, Faris." Faris was shaken. Still, he tried to brush it off, telling himself it might be a hallucination, a trauma response caused by the shock. He calmly continued the interview, asking the man what kind of car he was driving, which he replied, "I'm driving a yellow VW Beetle." And then, the call ended abruptly, leaving Faris and everyone listening confused and deeply unsettled. Trying to maintain composure, Faris attempted to steer the program back on track. He reassured the audience, and perhaps himself, that it was just a prank call, that nothing serious had actually happened. But the next morning, the truth proved otherwise. A breaking news bulletin shocked Faris and the radio crew on duty the night before. A massive accident had occurred on the Karak Highway, and the details matched exactly what the caller had described. Faris rushed into the studio, hands trembling, He scrambled to access the recording of the previous night's show, hoping to find more details, something he might have missed. But when he played the tape, all he heard was static. Faris were stunned. Was it all just a rare coincidence? Had he received a call from the future? And more importantly, could it be that the mystery of the yellow Volkswagen actually began with a real event from the past?
Sepanjang jalan kenangan, kita selalu bergandeng tangan.